Hello, this is Steve from Beto's Leatherworks. Today's project is this well-loved, well-worn Chanel bag. It's seen its better days. It's one of her favorite bags, but she wore it to death. So basically we're going to disassemble the whole bag. The quilt on it is just kind of disintegrated. There's nothing there. So we're going to take all these stitches out, replace the quilt, restitch it, re-dye it, condition it, replace the lining, make a new leather for the chain, and put it back together to bring it back to its former glory days. All right, let's get started. All right, now that we've got the front pocket opened up, okay, these are basically top stitched on there. The flap, however, there is no top stitch on there because it's turned inside out. So what we're going to do, got to pull part of that lining out. And then we've got to take the flap and turn it inside out like that in order to get to those stitches on the inside to remove the flap from the body of the bag. Now, we're not going to do that just for the sake of taking it apart, because we can just cut the stitch like that. You don't have to get on the inside when you're unstitching, when you're taking it apart. But when you're restitching it, yes, you've got to basically turn the bag inside out to get to that top stitch right there. And then once that stitch is done, you push the lining in. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but you get the idea. It's assembly time. All right, let's continue. So take a look at this. You guys see a difference in the color? It looks like it was a salmon pink and not really pink. This purse has been dyed before. That's the original color there. What a big difference from what it was to what it is now. Well, we're going to keep it pink because obviously she likes the color the way it is now. We're just going to clean it and then re-dye it the same color. We're not going to change anything because if she likes this, then let's just continue the way it is. All right, let's continue. This is what's left of the quilt, which is not much. So we're going to disassemble all this. All the stitches got to be cleaned up, re-quilted, re-stitch it exact same pattern. And then we shall continue. So our plans didn't work out quite well as was intended. After I took the bag apart, it was obvious that it was damaged pretty extensively. Now, could I have brought this back? Yeah, I could have done. But it just seemed that all that work and all that time spent on it was not going to be to the best of its ability to look like a new project. So we kind of changed our plans a little bit. Now I had to talk to the customer, of course, let her know what was going on, because I wanted her, make sure that she was on board as far as what I wanted to do with it. And we agreed that as the best thing to do with what we have to work with. Now, we are on the verge of making a new bag for her. I've got the lights out here, or else, let me see if I can turn it back. Let me see if I can turn the lights on. All right, this is a little better. Basically, we're making her a new bag. This is all new leather. We've got our padding in the back. Now this padding, I remember buying huge rolls at an auction. Can't remember what it's called, but basically it's got a foam backing with fabric on the other side. I think this was used for insoles on new shoemaking, if I'm not mistaken. So this is what I'm using for the quilt. I don't know where you can get them. I have no idea. This was like a long time ago. I went to an auction. I bought the rolls. Now, as you guys can see, it's going to be like a new bag. That's the front, where the front lock goes. Side gussets, bottom. And this is the main body of it. Again, we just marked it a little bit so we can put the padding in the back and then stitch the pattern on. So I know this was not my plan originally. It just was not my plan making a new bag. I can do it. It's not a problem doing it, but I think overall it's going to be a lot less time consuming for me. And as far as appearance, visually, it's gonna look very nice. Fairly new bag. I know some of you guys are gonna go, "Hey man, but that's not a Schnell bag anymore." Hey, it's not your bag, okay? The customer decided already what she wanted, and what the end result's gonna be is to her liking. So don't worry about it. It's not a real Chanel, it's a real Chanel. To each his own. It's going to look like a real Chanel. I promise you that. Not better quality materials on the inside. No, it's a nice bag. It's a beautiful bag. And the quality is very nice also. So we're getting there. We're making some headways. This is for the front. For the front tab where the C's, the double C's go. So it's okay. Sometimes happens, unfortunately, when you just don't know at times when you take something apart. You just have to kind of change course. And I'm glad we had the option to continue the project and make it look like it's a nice bag when it gets done. Luckily, I got the pink leather for another project, and it worked out pretty good that this was a perfect match for it. It's lambskin, just like the original. Actually, it's a little better than the original, because the original, somebody dyed it, they painted it, and it had a rough texture. This one will have the original soft lamb texture when it gets done. All right, let's continue. All right, so we have the back pocket ready to be stitched now. That's the main piece. Once we stitch this pattern, we put the lining underneath it, and we stitch it onto the bag. So onto the lining. Now I know I want to replace at least that piece right there, right? This is pretty beat up. But what do? Do I keep the rest of it? Here's the Chanel tag, by the way, in case somebody was, if some of you guys are wondering the authenticity of it. So I'm kind of a dilemma. What do I do? that obviously, that's done. All right, that's out of your head. Now, if we keep this lining, it's got to be cleaned and dyed. I mean, it's in fairly good shape, other than it's dirty, you know. Something to ponder. All right, I'm gonna have to decide to do something and move on. things happen, I guess. The needle caught that and scratched the shit out of it. Ugh. I can't have that there like that. Oh, man. Guess I gotta do it again. God, man, damn it. I think it's time to take a break. Sometimes you gotta just kind of regroup your thoughts and just start over. Because when something doesn't go right, it's not good to continue with what you're doing, because if you continue it, you're going to make more mistakes. Like that mistake with the needle catching that leather, it just kind of killed the whole mood. So I'm going to take a coffee break, come back with a clear mind. All right, let's continue. Coffee time by myself today. That's all right. Sometimes silence is the best form of conversation. All right, let's continue. So as I was making the coffee, I got a call from a friend of mine, Doug Giles. Gave me a little pep talk. He's a leather craftsman himself, and he also does pool tables. I think he's got a YouTube channel called Billiards of New Orleans. Billiards, like pool tables. Billiards of New Orleans. Go show him some love and see what his channel's about. Oh, this sucker's hot. Yeah, it's time. Sometimes it's a good idea to regroup, you know, because we all go through phases where we're working on something and something doesn't go right and we continue it. And, you know, it's the worst thing you could do. There's been times where I just literally walked away from the job, just left it alone and not touched it until the next day when I came back with a clear mind and just a different game plan to finish the project. And most of the time it works out best like that, because if you're in that mood that nothing's going right and you continue it, nothing's going to continue to go right. So, you know, take some advice from me. Believe me, I know. Made lots of mistakes in the past and continue it, the job, and things didn't work out. So I had to start all over again. So if you're working on something, doesn't go right, it's okay. It's okay. Just walk away. Come back the next day. All right, let's continue. I want to enjoy my coffee now. All right. Well, we're going to start all over again. Gonna make some C's. Put some padding on it. Now, I salvaged that piece. That's still in good shape, believe it or not. And we're just going to cut a new piece of leather and start all over again. Wish me luck. Cool. All right, we're making progress. That's the new lining. We are almost done. So once, you guys remember at the beginning when I was unstitching the sides there? So this is now when you turn it inside out like that. You stitch the bag and then you fold it over, tuck that inside, and then finish it with the top stitch. Put the hardware on, and she is ready to go. We are making progress. Just not quite done just yet, but almost there. All right, welcome back. We are done with another project. Now, this took a turn for the better, I think, as I started it, because I don't think it would have been as nicer looking had we not done what we did. Unfortunately, it's something that I had to do. We just had to make it look as best as possible, and understanding that this is not a Chanel from the Chanel factory, you know. But overall, I think it didn't turn out too bad. And I replaced just about everything on the bag. The only thing that we reused is the hardware, and everything else got replaced. The same lock, the eyelets, and the chain. Other than that, the sticker got put back in it. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's inside. I put this the ID tag in there. We used the same zipper, same lining inside. That didn't get changed. That was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. And I think it turned out pretty good. I think she'll be happy with it. Now, this was a $3,000 job, close to $3,000 job, before I remade it for her. I'm not going to charge anything more. It's just not, you know, I knew I wasn't going to charge her more. I quoted her a price for what I wanted to do, and we did a little bit more. As long as the customer's happy, that's all I care for, and on to the next project. All right, well, thank you. If I can speak, it's been a long day. Thanks again for joining me. Share, comment, and I know some of the comments are going to say, hey man, it's not a Chanel anymore. I know that. We spoke about that already, and you know what? Customers fine with that. Anyway, thumbs up, share, comment, do whatever you got to do to kind of help the channel grow a little bit. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the next project. Take care.